organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Thanks for tuning in to your Thursday edition of Daily Iowan TV, your television news, sports, and weather source from the Daily Iowan. I'm John Dedcott here in the Daily Iowan newsroom to give you an update about what's been going on around Iowa City. And even though it's already been 3 years since historic flooding crippled campus, students hoping to see a fully rehabilitated campus will have to wait a little longer. The completion date for several reconstruction projects, including the IMU, has been moved back yet again, that according to information released by the State Board of Regents Thursday. The IMU was slated to be completed in February of 2013, but that has now been moved back to August of 2014. Likewise, reconstruction of the UI Theater building is now scheduled to be completed in August rather than April of 2013, and the School of Music will hopefully be done by the start of school in 2016 rather than October of 2014. UI officials said the delays are a result of the UIs trying to meet FEMA standards and regulations. And the UI issued an apology today for an inappropriate tweet sent on one of its Twitter feeds. Now, after continued reports of cougar sightings in Iowa City, the UI Politics feed posted today, "I didn't know Bachman was in town, but bum." The university removed the joke, but Bachman still got word. Today, our campaign released a statement saying, "When you are 55 years old, have had 5 children, and been foster mother to 23 children, Michelle is grateful when people don't refer to her as the old lady in the shoe." UI spokesman Tom Moore said that a staff member was responsible for the tweet, but couldn't say whether any discipline action would be taken. And a Kirkwood Community College bond issue passed with 81% of the vote in Tuesday's election. The bond will generate $46.5 million over 15 years for the community college. Kirkwood officials hope that the money will go towards not only renovating the existing campus, but also building a new one out in Coralville. According to the Director of Admissions here at the UI, Michael Barron, Kirkwood is the UI's biggest feeder school for the UI, and there are approximately 500 to 600 students who take classes at both schools each semester. One UI student who has taken classes at Kirkwood hopes the bond money will be well spent.
The main problem I had with Kirkwood was that their facilities were inadequate for the amount of students that were there. I feel like if they put a little bit more money into their facilities, they might have a lot better campus.
The decision is in keeping with President Obama's new jobs plan, which puts a big emphasis on putting more money into community colleges. And things are looking good for the UI's medical program. On Thursday, the UI received a $1.6 million grant from the Foundation Fighting Blindness to study retinal damage and diseases. Researchers will try to identify the causes of inherited retinal diseases and track the way these diseases progress. The research team will be led by Dr. Edwin Stone. And with so much focus on the Hawkeyes, it's easy to forget that not every football team plays in Kinnick Stadium. Daily Iowan TV's Nick Fetty has the story of one team looking for a new home.
Anyone who ventures off campus on Iowa City's east side may notice yard signs that read, "Stand Up for City High." This campaign aims to raise money for some much-needed renovations to the football stadium. The renovation, which was projected to be completed by the start of the 2011 football season, has been pushed back. However, this is not due to a lack of fundraising.
Contractors were fearful that they would not meet the time frame, therefore a lot of overtime was required, and we felt it was in our best interest to rebid the project.
The project will be completed in 3 phases. Phase 1 includes the construction of a new 2-level alumni building, which will provide an indoor viewing area for fans upstairs and new restrooms on the ground level. Phase 2 will focus on expanding the concessions area. This phase will also include improvements to the current press box, and Phase 3 will see vast improvements to the stadium's current lighting system. I'm here at historic Bates Field, home of the City High Little Hogs. Even though the stadium is empty right now, it's often quite full during home football games, but barely has enough restrooms and other facilities to accommodate all the attendees. The school even had to bring in portable restrooms as a temporary fix to the problem. The stadium was especially crowded during last Friday's annual Battle of the Boot game, which pits City High against their crosstown rival West High. Head football coach Dan Sabers is appreciative of the community's efforts since fundraising made this project possible.
Well, I'm certainly appreciative of all the people that have helped pull this off, and the donors, and just people that have done a lot of legwork, and the people that believe in all of us at City High now that we're worth it, that we'll take care of it, and that we'll put a good product out there for them.
The project is expected to be completed in time for the 2012 football season. Nick Fetty, Daily Iowan TV.
On Thursday, the Johnson County Board of Supervisors decided to move ahead with a plan to install more emergency sirens in rural areas of the county. The project would cost over $100,000 and would take an estimated 2 years to complete. Proponents of the project say the sirens are necessary in rural areas, such as the area on Highway 382 around Lake McBride, where they don't have those systems currently in place. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Friday's pages of the Daily Iowan. Be sure to read about local groups teaming up to take care of the trash on game days, plus find out how Hawkeye apparel fits into the fight for workers' rights. And before we go, here's a quick look at your local weather forecast. It will definitely feel like fall tomorrow with a high of just 58 degrees and lots of clouds expected. Might want to take a jacket if you're going out Friday night too, as the low will be just 47. And looking ahead to the rest of the week, it will warm up again, looking at a high of 65 for game day Saturday before a 40% chance of rain on Sunday. Monday temperatures should return to the 70s and stay there for the rest of the week. And now as we look ahead to Saturday's big game, we have everything you need to know about Hawkeye football in our weekly breakdown we call Daily Iowan Pregame.
Hey there, I'm Chelsea Byrne alongside Jake Abrams for another edition of Daily Iowan TV Pregame. Well, it was everything that an in-state matchup should be, but the Hawks didn't come home with the trophy as Iowa State beat them in triple overtime, 44-41.
Yeah, it was the first time the Cyclones won that game in 3 years, but now that game is in the past. All the Hawks are looking forward to now is the game on Saturday. This Saturday, the Hawkeyes welcome the Pittsburgh Panthers to Kinnick Stadium for a Big East Big Ten showdown. The Panthers are coming in at 2-0. Both games were played in Pittsburgh, so this will be their first test on the road. They beat Buffalo and Maine, and Coach Kirk Ferentz is aware that this Panther team will be ready to go on Saturday.
Good players in all regards, and I think they've gotten off to a good start, which is really impressive considering they've changed philosophically on particularly offense and defense. You know, they're really a different football team than they were last time we played them, so they're off to a great start. They've got good players. They're playing well. And, it's going to be good to be back in Kinnick, certainly.
Well, many concerns coming out of Ames, but none bigger than the kickoff team and the defense, which Kirk is very aware of.
I'm concerned about our kickoff team right now, mainly because we've been riding a roller coaster. It seems like forever, but it's been at least going back to last year. I can't remember much past that. When we hit pretty well, but when we miss badly. The work that we have to do defensively right now to think that we can let somebody start with the ball on the 40, 45, 50, or the other side of the 50 week in and week out. It's just not very realistic. So we're going to have to try to figure something out there and do a better job, certainly.
And speaking of trying to figure it out, the Hawks are going to have to try to figure out Pittsburgh running back Ray Graham. Graham leads the nation in rushing with 161 yards per game and is tied for the national lead with 6 rushing touchdowns. He's averaging 18 points per game, scoring 3 touchdowns in each of his first 2 games.
And for more on Graham and the Panthers, we welcome in Lauren Kirchman from the Pitt News. Lauren, just how good is this Ray Graham?
You can expect to see he's very quick, he's very shifty, he will make guys miss, he only needs the smallest hole to get off down the field. What a lot of people don't realize about him is he's also very capable of catching the ball in the backfield, and Pitt will go to that. He had several nice receptions against Maine, 3-on-1 drives that eventually led for a touchdown, so he's very versatile.
Now, Lauren, this Hawkeye team started the season strong but really struggled in Game 2. How has this Pittsburgh team looked over the first 2 games, and what could we expect on Saturday?
They've actually been pretty shaky in their first 2 games. They look like a team who's transitioning from the kind of methodical pro-style system that our former coach Dave Wannstedt ran last year to this hurry-up, no-huddle system that Todd Graham is running. So the most important thing for this team right now is consistency for Pitt to be able to get off to those fast starts and then continue that throughout the game.
Now, Lauren, I think Pitt will come out strong, but Iowa will come back to win in the second half. What is your score prediction for this Saturday's game, and who's going to win?
I think the combination of the atmosphere plus Iowa coming off the loss to a rival will give them a little push that they need. And I think Pitt is still going to struggle a little bit with getting a hold on this new system. So I'm going to say Iowa 35, Pitt 27.
All right, thanks, Lauren. For more information on this week's matchup, be sure to pick up a copy of Pregame on new shelves around campus. Now we're going to welcome in the guys that ride it. Pregame editor Jordan Garrettson joins us. Now, Jordan, what do the Hawks have to do to win the game this weekend?
Well, Chelsea, this weekend Iowa can't afford to play the same type of defense it played last weekend against Iowa State. Pittsburgh is a team with another good offense. Last week, Iowa gave up touchdowns to Iowa State on 2 of their last 3 possessions in regulation and allowed them to score on 3 straight times in overtime. Iowa's going to have to find a way to get some key stops this week.
And now Jordan's partner in crime, sports editor at the Daily Iowan, Seth Roberts, joins us. Seth, what are your keys to the game?
Thanks, Jake. If Iowa wants to win this game, they need to do a lot better on their kick coverage, especially on the kickoffs, but on punt returns also. Hopefully they worked on it on practice this week. If they didn't, they're probably better off just kicking it out of bounds every single time and taking a penalty, because starting on the 40 is a lot better than starting on the 50.
All right, thanks, guys. You can pick up a copy of Daily Iowan pregame every Friday around campus. And real quick, let's just take a look at how the Hawks have matched up against the Big East in the past. Iowa has only played 3 Big East programs in school history. They're looking for win number 6 on Saturday, but the last time they played a Big East team is when they lost to Pittsburgh in 2008.
This Saturday will be the 5th meeting between Iowa and Pittsburgh. The Panthers lead that series 3-1.
All right, kickoff is set for 11 a.m. Saturday. That's all the time we have today for pregame. I'd like to thank our guests Jordan Garrettson, Seth Callie-Roberts, and Lauren Kirkman.
For Jake Abrams, I'm Chelsea Burns. Thanks for watching and have a great night.